Welcome to Pop the Question podcast, brought to you by Sunshine Coast Wedding Collective. I'm your host, Lou O'Brien, Sunshine Coast wedding photographer and your guide to all things I do. If you're engaged and looking for fun, practical tips to plan your big day, you're in the right spot. Each week, I'll chat with a different wedding vendor to share advice and inspo in short, easy episodes. Now let's get into it. The one thing none of us can control when planning a wedding is the weather. You can have everything perfectly organized, but if the rain starts pouring, the wind picks up, or even the sun decides to turn into a scorcher, having the right venue can make all the difference. The best venues don't just look beautiful. They're designed to handle whatever Mother Nature throws your way. So joining me today, I have Priscilla, who is the function and wedding manager from the Caloundra Power Boat Club. With over 25 years in weddings and events, Priscilla knows exactly how to keep things running smoothly, no matter what the weather's doing. And I've been lucky enough to know Priscilla for years now, and we always have a great time working together at weddings. And get this, she loves the club so much, she even got married there, and I was lucky enough to be her photographer. So, hi, Priscilla. How are you today?
Hi, Lou. I'm great. How are you going?
I'm very good. Kiki's kicking back with us again today.
Kiki, you have to be one of the spoiledest dog around, I think. Absolutely. She's gorgeous, though.
She is. Priscilla, for people that don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a wedding coordinator. Love what I do. Been doing it for around 25 years now. Every day is different. Love dealing with the brides and the grooms and making their day fabulous.
Fantastic. And I've got to say, the Caloundra Power Boat Club has probably one of the best views. So you've got an amazing place to work at, looking out over the Pacific Ocean.
I certainly do. And every day is different. Like I have to, whether it's the sunny, rainy, windy, stormy, whatever's happening out there, every day is different. And I never get sick of this view. It's amazing. And I love it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Well, today I thought to help our couples, since you've got so much experience in weddings and functions, that we would ask you a question for couples looking for a venue to make sure they got all things covered for weather, whether it's rain, wind, or really hot sun. What advice can you give them?
You've got to have a great wet weather backup plan, because obviously the weather is unpredictable. We can't tell you that it's going to be a beautiful sunny day on your wedding day. So you just have to have that plan. Know that it can be still stress-free, and we can make it look just as fabulous as if it was going to be outside. And we are lucky enough that we have that here. We've got a beautiful glass enclosed balcony, overlooks the water. So you're still going to have those fabulous photos, and yeah, your guests are going to be comfortable, and you're going to be comfortable, and you're going to still have a fabulous ceremony.
That sounds good. Yeah, I do love it there. So if people needed to go to a plan B with the wet weather, how much time, how much notice do they have to give to be able to change it from having it outdoors to indoors?
Literally, we need about 20 minutes, seriously. It's upstairs,
Right.
It's always set. So it's we don't need much time at all.
Wow, that's so good. So they can kind of wait till the last minute, and if they need to, it can be that quick.
It can be, yeah, it can be, yeah. So we've had plenty of practice. Not that it happens that often, thankfully, but when it does, yeah, we can whip it around and change it in no time at all, and it's still going to be great.
Yeah, well, that's really good to know. So, Priscilla, what's your next tip you can give our couples?
To have a wedding coordinator that is not going to stress. You need to have someone that's going to be calm and help you make those decisions and know that they are going to be the right decisions, and you're still going to have a fabulous ceremony if we need to change it around, and it can be done quickly and it's stress-free. It's very important to have someone that is going to calm you down on the day. You don't need somebody that's going to be stressing you out even more. So someone that's very calm, relaxed, definitely you need that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think having a wedding coordinator who's not emotionally involved in your day, but has the experience to know what the weather can do there, because depending if you're having a wedding in the hinterland and you've got the rolling hills, the venue coordinator up there might know that they can see the clouds, maybe know that's going to come on us very soon, and they might be able to make that call. Or for someone like you down by the water, you'll know, if that's really windy and the clouds are coming in, you'll know whether that's going to come soon or not. And by not being emotionally involved in their wedding, having someone calm like you can make it easier decision for the couples, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see when I can look up the waterfront and see that the rain is coming, and it's like, okay, it can be here, but it could be gone like in 10 minutes as well. So we can sort of predict it. Um, Obviously, we try to still give them the option, like, what do you want to do? Because we don't want to tell them what to do, but we advise them. And normally they pretty well will go with what we've suggested because we've been doing it a long time. And we want the guests to be happy and comfortable as well. Like, no one wants to get wet and, sit out in the rain or the wind and be really uncomfortable. So, yeah, so we make it happen, and it always ends up being fabulous.
Yeah. That's such a good tip too, how you bring the guests into it, because the wedding isn't just about the bride and groom and the bridal party. Like, the guests are there too. So if they get wet, it's a long day for all your guests to
Yeah.
be wet and cold.
Absolutely. Like, it's, yeah, uncomfortable. Like, who wants to, people spend a lot of money getting ready for a wedding, like hair, makeup, dresses, shoes. Yeah, you want to be comfortable, like, and the photos are still going to be beautiful. Like, you're still going to get great photos here, which is important, obviously. That's the memories that you're going to have. But, and we're lucky. We have fabulous photographers like you that make it work and make it happen for them.
Yeah, thanks. So I think that's a really good point too. Like, depending on the venue that they pick, if they've got one like yours that the ceremony and the reception are in the same place, if they have to go to plan B and do an indoors ceremony, it's very easy for the photographer then to be able to take them outside for their beautiful photos, or it could be the bridal party photos. You don't have to have an outdoor ceremony to still be able to take the bridal couple photos outside. Priscilla, so is there any more tips you would like to give our couples when they're considering weather for their wedding day?
You have to have somewhere that you can go if the weather's not going to be great. So I'm putting it into their mind so that they're aware that, oh, yes, actually, it could rain on my wedding day. We want easy. Nothing needs to be that hard.
Yeah, I think that's so important, to be able to talk to your couples leading up to the day, just to let them know that it could rain, it could be really windy, or it could be stinking hot on their day. And if they're prepared for that and have to make the change, it's not such a shock that, that they have to go to their plan B, but to know that it's still going to be beautiful anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about two people getting married, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's the other thing that I remind them, like, at the end of the day, like, you're getting married. That is the main thing that's going to happen on this special day. And then we still try to get downstairs if we need to, like, to get those photos, if that rain stops or whatever. So, like, we're always putting in their minds that we still could get those photos downstairs. That doesn't mean, but at this point in time, you're going to be comfortable upstairs. Your guests are going to be comfortable, but you've got that wet weather plan. And they agree. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So I couldn't think of anything worse than getting married outside on a beach somewhere, and then you haven't got a backup plan and you're watching the weather like a week before, and it's stressful, too stressful.
Yeah.
Actually, don't need it.
No, you don't. And you just reminded me of a wedding that we did together recently, where it actually wasn't the weather for this wedding, but it was actually the traffic on the Bruce Highway. And we had a daytime lunch wedding. Thankfully, it was a daytime wedding. And I can't remember, there was about 40 guests, and we had a whole lot of them, especially the groom's mum and auntie was stuck on the highway for like 2 hours. But because your wedding venue had the ceremony and the reception in the one place, you were so quick to flip it round. I remember you took the guests upstairs for canapes and drinks. They enjoyed their drinks. And we ended up doing a first look with the bride and groom and doing all their bridal couple photos first. And then when the mum and Auntie arrived, you guys were so good there. You could just flip it round and we just kind of reversed the wedding and then had the ceremony 2 hours later. But having everything in the one place made it a lot easy. So you guys were, your team was incredible doing that.
Oh, thanks, Lou. Yeah, I think we all worked really well that day, and and we were lucky that we had great bride and groom that were pretty chilled out too, to be honest. So, but it worked. We just reversed everything around, did photos before the ceremony. But at the end of the day, they got married, they were happy, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. So I think a good takeaway from that is, as a couple, be flexible, and picking a venue that does have the ceremony and the reception in one place is probably a great idea to make it stress-free.
Absolutely. And it's so easy. I mean, I got married here myself. So, what does that tell you?
I know. And I'm a little bit biased. I'm a Caloundra local growing up here. So I absolutely love Caloundra. I think it's a hidden gem. So it's a beautiful place. But thank you. We are now coming up to one of my favorite parts of the podcast, which is to pop the question. This is my mystery wedding themed question from my trusty little camera here. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pull it out from here.
Right.
This is always fun. I like this one. Okay. What's the sweetest thing you've seen a couple do?
Probably both crying at the altar as they're getting married, and they just can't control themselves and they've got tears running down, and it's through pure excitement and love and joy, and it's very special. And it makes everybody teary, and then you've got everyone crying. It's just like, oh my God, but it's happy tears. Happy tears.
It is. Actually, as a wedding photographer, I had to learn a few years ago to stop listening too much to the ceremony. I need to know my key points, but if I listen to the vows and they cry, I actually start crying. So it's not very good as a photographer, shaking and crying. So I just try not to listen too much because they can be so beautiful, the vows.
Oh, they really are. And everyone's got a different story, a story to tell.
Yeah.
And it's, it is. It's beautiful. And the music too. The music really gets to me, especially when it's it's the song that I walk down the aisle to. It just brings it all back. And I'm like, oh my God, it's my wedding.
I love that. That's so cool. Well, great answer. Thank you so much. Now, before we go, I always love to just give our guests a couple of tips that they can take away with them when planning their wedding. So what are the key points you want them to know about when considering a wet weather venue for their wedding day?
You just got to have somewhere that you're still going to be happy with, that you're going to love your photos. It's easy for the guests when they come here. They just drive here. There's no going backwards and forwards from reception to ceremony. But we can just, still do that ceremony, and it's going to be beautiful, and we can, make it just as special as if it was outside.
Yeah, I love that. Perfect. Great answer. Okay, well, thank you so much, Priscilla, for coming today. Now, if people want to find out more about the Caloundra Power Boat Club and the Caloundra Weddings, where can they find you on the socials?
So we're on Facebook, so Caloundra Power Boat Club, and we've also got Caloundra Weddings as well, and we're on Instagram also.
Perfect. Okay, well, thanks for that. And thanks, everyone, for listening in today. If you want more information, you can all head on over to my website, which is imagesbylouobrien.com/pop the question. You'll be able to find all of Priscilla and the Caloundra Power Boat Club details over there, as well as the show notes. And happy wedding planning, everyone. And thanks again, Priscilla. See you later.
Thanks for having me. See you later. Have a great day.
That's it today. Share this episode with your engaged friends. Leave a like and comment. You can grab the show notes at imagesbylouobrien.com/pop the question. Happy wedding planning, everyone, and we'll see you next week.